into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you.
So currently right here we have this pump and water container that is actually my dad's that we borrowed. But basically the setup when we're boondocking out here in Columbine in New Mexico, we don't have any hookups out here. So in order to get water, you have to put it in a container and bring it to your campsite. We put this container on a dolly, zip tied this normal water pump, and then put these little jumper alligator clips on it and a battery. And so you go and you fill it up at the water place was just up the hill, hook it up to your battery, turn the pump on, and we can pump full our water. So it's just a lot easier than, because they don't allow us to pull up to the water and just hook directly and then park. So this is one easy way to do that. So then right here we have our 30 amp cable plugged in, and we have it going to the back. I have my Predator 3500 generator running so that we can run both the electric water heater as well as the gas water heater to give us a lot more hot water faster if you can run them both at the same time versus just one at a time. So we can walk around back here and show you that generator. So there is my Predator 3500 inverter. And that will run everything on this camper by itself. Fridge, AC, water heater, everything, lights, which is one of the main reasons I bought this particular one. And it's super quiet. So there you go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on. Hey everybody, Hank with RotoCityTech here. We are winding down our trip here in Red River, New Mexico. This is our camping spot. We have our wolf pup sitting in here, but we're just now getting everything bundled up. We're actually going to move it down a few spots. My brother and his family are going to use it while we go on home. They're going to be staying this week. But I wanted to touch base on a couple of little things that we did while we were dry camping. In the short video that we have showing the water tank, that we use that to fill up our freshwater tank because here there are no freshwater connections. So to make it easier, we had that. I think it's a 15-gallon tank and a battery and a pump, and we could pump into here and use our freshwater for our showers, brushing our teeth, our making of the coffee and stuff like that. We also had the generator back here that we showed you to keep our batteries topped off as we run it maybe every other day for a couple hours, and that would keep our 12-volt battery topped off where we could be using all of our lights and whatnot here. We also had I've got 2 propane tanks on the front of this camper that I use to power my refrigerator and stuff like that here, my gas burning stove. I brought an extra tank because I have a Camper Chef 2-burner stovetop that we used out here, and I would take that 3rd propane tank and hook up, and we could cook out here with our cast iron skillet that I refinished in a previous video on the channel. We used that pan here to cook all of our food when we weren't with family, because we had a lot of the family here that we spent time with and made food over at other campsites. Here there is a trailhead up here at this particular campsite where we hiked up. I think we did about 3 miles that time. It's got a river and some bridges that you cross, and then there's what all the kids are calling a bear cave. It's just like an old mining shaft. We got to hike through that. We've got a few pictures of that on here as well. And we took the whole family and a bunch of kids, nieces and nephews and whatnot. Me and a friend that was camping up here, we attempted to hike up to a summit. I don't know if we can see it. No. Back up here there's a summit, a big rock face that we were going to go climb, that we have climbed years before and hung up a t-shirt on a stick and stuff. We tried to do that, but we went up the wrong ridge, and 2.5 hours later we were looking across a valley to where we were supposed to be. So we ended up just coming back down and ate some food and hung out. While we were here though, this campsite is just a big loop. There's a small loop and then a bigger loop with campsites on either side of the road. And we would walk that loop or ride bikes with the kids, or we'd go down to some of our family's campsites and we played card games. We ate a lot of food, and we just would hang out with people there and talk. And then we would make a campfire towards the end of the night where we could do marshmallows and whatnot. We also had a canopy that we would put over our picnic table over here so that we could sit underneath the picnic table even when it was raining, because the last 2 days it's been kind of raining. And then we would take one issue. We had an issue with our water heater that we've still not figured out fully. When we try to start it with the gas, it would just blow a flame out the side of the camper and blow out. After 4 or 5 tries of lighting, it would finally light, and we would have hot water to take our showers. As long as we had the generator plugged in, we could use the electric part of the water heater and heat our water that way. But without the water heater, or without the generator, the water heater sometimes wouldn't light. So I'm still having to figure that out, and once I do, I'll have to make a video on what I did to figure that out, because it keeps blowing out. But anyways, we're going to finish up packing, and we're going to drag this camper down to my brother's spot, and we are going to make our way back to Texas. So a couple of the food items that we made in that skillet, when we were in Manitou, we would make breakfast. We just would do bacon and eggs, pretty simple. I would just do scrambled eggs on it. We would cook the bacon first, so that would get a good base for the grease and whatnot, and the pan's also seasoned with Crisco to keep it from rusting, and that helped a lot. But bacon and eggs there. For dinner, we had ground beef, and then my wife cut up poblano, bell peppers, onion, and a few other veggies. And we just kind of did like a stir fry kind of thing with the ground beef. It was like a taco filling. We didn't have any tortillas or anything. We didn't want to do that, and we just had, so it was just like a taco meat bowl kind of thing. And then the rest of the time in Manitou, we ate out like in downtown area. We kind of wanted to take advantage of some of the restaurants and whatnot that we had there. And then when we got here to Red River, that's when we knew we were going to be cooking out a lot more. I know we used our cast iron skillet and the stovetop to make a ham and cheese omelet, which was really good. That cast iron skillet has been something that is it's just really awesome. I've never really cooked with them very much, but they were really helpful to have up here and really easy to clean. You just kind of scrape it off when it's hot, and then wipe it with a paper towel, add some more grease to it, wrap it up in foil, and you're good to go. The other times we would go down to my parents' campsite, and they would make breakfast for us for the other days, and he would go all out, bacon, eggs. My mom would make pancakes and English muffins and stuff, and that was really good. We had a sausage and pepper and onion kind of stir fry thing one night where we wrapped in tortillas. And same thing in the cast iron skillet. We just had cut up like Polish sausage, peppers, onions, squash, cut it all up, put it in the cast iron skillet all together, and just cook it up until it's warm. And we would put it in a tortilla, add some sour cream and some shredded cheese, and those were delicious. We actually had that 2 nights with some leftovers. One night we had hamburgers made on a flat top grill that my uncle had over here. He also had brought some catfish that he caught back home in Texas, and we had a catfish fry with hamburgers and hot dogs and my aunt made some red beans there at the campsite, chips and whatnot. We went into town, into Red River, and ate a burger at this place called Shotgun Willie's, which is a place we really like to eat. And then I think that's about all of the food stuff. We definitely did not go hungry. We had a lot of interesting food, stuff that you wouldn't normally cook, like if you think that you're just going to put a hot dog over the fire and eat it. With that cast iron skillet and having that stovetop outside where you don't get the inside of your camper all smoky, you can do a lot of things with that. And we really enjoyed having that and having our family here and being able to cook all that different stuff and never get hungry. In fact, we ate too much, but it was awesome.
We can't get any closer.